All right.
Yes.
Welcome, everyone, to a special edition of WVSR 1360, West Philadelphia Van Stone Radio. We are here to talk live with Van Stone, and it's a special show this week because of the emergency, of course, in our country. So this is a serious issue, and so we're going to talk about it as realistic as we can. We're going to try to keep you with the right updates about what's happening with the coronavirus. But before I go forward, let me introduce, of course, my fellow team here. Antoinette is here. How you doing, Antoinette?
Hey, how you doing, Van?
All right. We have David Anthony was with us.
Hey, how you doing, Van?
Okay, and of course we have Jerry Wilson over here handling the boards and everything.
Which you cannot see me. I'm busy. I'm doing 6 things at one time, so you can't see me. We are broadcasting live right now over Facebook, and right now we have about 10 viewers on Facebook.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome.
All right, so the time is 2:25. We're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and this is a special broadcast. We are actually doing educational radio, but we're really going to begin becoming the informers of the updates of what's happening with this virus, which is just statewide, shutting so many things down. So many people are just really being crushed by that. So there are several announcements we need to really make clear so everybody can understand about the virus. This is not a joke. It's not something, a lot of rumors has been going out, who it does not affect based on race, okay? There's no such thing as that. It is a virus, and the virus can hit whomever, regardless of age, okay? The other thing is that the virus, there's no cure for it. Okay, so we want to make that very clear. You're hearing a lot of different things. There's no cure. And right here in our country right now, unfortunately, the bad news is that there's no vaccine for us here. So the way this matter is being handled, they're talking about the vaccine won't be available here for a year.
Wow.
So this is why all the drastic measures are being taken here. I'm going to speak my opinion as a political analyst on some things, how some things have been handled, which I just don't think, it should be handled the way it's handling. But nevertheless, it is happening, and they are handling it. So it's not much we can do. The good news about the virus, and this is very important, is that it's not airborne. What does that mean? Airborne means if you walk in an area, if you're sitting in a car with someone, and if the wind just blow or something like that, then the virus can leave the host and get on to you. Fortunately, it's not airborne. So the virus can spread. It's very deadly through physical or they call it pathogens. So if you sneeze, fluids, any kind of fluids that may come from you to another person or that person to you, that's basically the way the disease can spread.
Yes.
So that's very important right now. So we have some more updates, especially in Philadelphia concerning Black Philadelphia. But I just wanted to bring that in before we start discussing our views on it, what we can do and
Yes.
what we can't do.
Yes.
So
Yes, I believe, the coronavirus right now to me, is like it's a living movie that we're actually watching. I mean, I went into one of the grocery stores one day this week, and it's amazing to me. It seemed like it's like we're living in our last days. You would think that all of the shelves that's in the grocery stores, from cleaning products to toilet tissue. I mean, they were totally empty. I couldn't believe it when I went in there, and there are like astronomical lines to get into BJ's in South Philadelphia area. I could not believe it. It's like you're actually waiting outside to do a concert meet and greet or something like that. Like, I really couldn't believe it, but we do have to take this very seriously and to protect our elderly, our children, but our elderly are the most ones that's more going to be affected by this. So we have to really educate ourselves and keep everyone safe, you know, and make sure that we take care of ourselves and take care of what we need to do to kind of kill this virus, because I've never seen nothing like this in my lifetime.
Right, okay. And also, on the line, we have one of our teams is here today, first time with us in the studio. Art Shaw, you there, Art?
Welcome, Art.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right,
How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, Art.
okay. So Art, part of our
hanging in
team,
there.
we want to welcome you to the broadcast today, and also, of course,
Thank you.
your view and opinion is very important too. The fact that, you know, you're a musician, well-known musician, but still, because this is an issue that affects everyone, there's no difference. This is one thing that makes us all the same, regardless of wealth or health, in this case. So, welcome in, Art, and you can, you know, give us your view of this coronavirus and how it's hitting, especially right here in Philadelphia.
Well, the club scene, I've talked to a couple of people and a couple of venues that have been canceled due to the outbreak, and they're really they're in shock. They're in shock. They're not really with it because they feel that it's a smaller venue. You know, these are, you know, this is like the hood clubs. I would say, you know, clubs in the hood, you know, and I don't think they're really too keen on stopping, you know, the entertainment and, you know, gathering that they do, you know, and like they will in a more like downtown. Let's say downtown. Downtown is kind of dead. You know, where in your neighborhoods, your community, some people like that are canceling venues, and others are you know, just they're still going on with their daily lives like nothing's going on.
Okay.
You know, I think that could be a little problem, but a big thing is to understand the virus, and you have to make sure that it's like you're following the guidelines, washing your hands, kind of keeping a distance from people, not in a socially degrading way, but just enough to keep a distance. Instead of fist bumping now, you have the elbow bumping, just the nodding of the head, you know, just acknowledgement. I don't think it's going to change how people, you know, but at the same time, we have to understand the virus, understand that this is going on now today.
Right. Well, basically, the way the government is handling this, let's just let everybody know, the listeners and viewers, they're just doing a terrible job on this.
We can't really listen to the government.
Go ahead.
We have to understand. Yeah, we have to understand what's going on and take it upon ourselves to follow directions of the Surgeon General to keep your hands clean, distance, like I said. And some of these venues being closed now are sort of better, just to keep the virus from like contact surfaces. You said it wasn't airborne, but it's definitely a contact surface. The surface contact disease. If you touch anything that someone else has touched and they're affected, you could be susceptible to that.
Yes, of course, right. But the difference is, at least we can manage it better because of the fact that it's not airborne. That's very, very, very important. Very important
Yes.
in that difference for all of us in our survival. And going back to what I was saying, that the government is handling it very terribly, and here's why. They're talking about a theme, family first. So what's the first survival of any family? You know, the first thing is the three basic needs of a family, any family, which is shelter, food, and money. And unfortunately, because the powers that be who run the government, mostly these are people who just have power and authority, that doesn't mean that the people who have power and authority actually know what they're doing. And that's why this is so terrible right now, because if the basic needs, the three basic needs, your front line of a family is shelter first, then food, then money, then everyone's in trouble. Because the way they're looking at it, they're looking at government first. So they're not handling this for everyone to survive. For an example, so shelter. So we have all these people who are homeless. Okay, and because the virus is going to continue to spread, and there's no cure right now. You know, they have to try to figure out a vaccine. So there's no shelter for these people. Okay, these same people, just because they're homeless doesn't mean that they don't care about themselves. They actually have jobs.
Yes.
People who are homeless are working, you know, but they have no shelter. So you're telling us that there's an emergency where each and every individual is now affected the same way. There's no difference in how much money you have with this. Yet the government is not viewing it that way. Then when it comes to food, if they would handle it the right way, we wouldn't even have this panic in the stores. Because really,
Yes.
it wouldn't be a necessary thing to go and everybody's running the store and all the food would be going, because you would know that the truckloads are going to continue to come in, the food deliveries and everything. And actually, you could look at an upside of any terrible situation, if there is one. If the government handled this right, that would be one upside. More money would be made for supermarkets, for small businesses, for
Yes.
people who have mom and pop stores, you know, even school stores. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. But because the government is not putting the three basic things first for the family, they're just frauds. What they're doing right now is terrible. It's fraudulent, you know, and then money. I mean, that's it. Money. At this point, everyone needs money because if the whole city is shut down, every city you go to, every state you go to is shut down, then how are we going to survive?
Exactly. And how about two?
Well, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think the government was talking about some sort of subsidy that they could do for the population itself, which would be kind of crazy. Yeah, I've talked to people about it a little earlier, and I don't know what factor will play into it. I would think that some of the large corporations would subsidize all their employers, and the government would sort of have some sort of tax break or relief money.
But that's not family. That's not family. That's what they were saying before in politics. Corporations are people too. That's an old, phony, fraudulent expression. How can a corporation actually be a person? That's you know. So it's one individual. That's what this whole election thing is about right now. The argument on both sides. You know, we have a few people who have all this money compared to the average, you know, citizen. But we're not going to even with this here. this eliminates all of that. This is common sense family first for real. Not our family, the people at the at the top who have the power compared to everyone else. Not just the poor. For an example, I was watching the news, so we had one politician who had a personal friend. She was so concerned about that. This is so stressing to her because her personal friend actually had the virus. And so the personal friend went in, just like what any of us should be able to do, go to the doctor, the family doctor, hospital, and they told her that she could not get tested. Now, they have testing kits, which is a process. But if you have money, then you can get tested. For an example, so this woman was denied. She went back home coughing, headaches, and everything else. And fortunately for her, she knew this high status politician, where the politician was able to get on the phone and then able to make them find a way, so-called test that wasn't available. So the average person, when you go there, we don't have anything for you. But if you have money, then a phone call, something can be made, and then here's this individual can get tested. Now we know these NBA players, for an example, a few tested, positive for the coronavirus. But again, we're told that there's no kits. You can't get tested.
Exactly.
But because financially, and it's a process of getting the approval through the medical industry, all this was bypassed. It's not a miracle. So this individual had the test, and not only that, the entire team was tested. So that's 200 people. So now you have the ability to, at one time, test 200 people at one time, but then the regular citizens, all of us sitting here, you go to your doctor, we can't get tested. They don't have the kits. They don't have anything. They don't have the ventilators. They don't have, that's all you're told. So this is the reality when and that's the typical response of the politicians. See, they have their jobs. Like, I don't know, I have to remind everybody, I am actually running for office, state rep, 190th district, but I really could care less about it. So I wish this was, recorded the right way. We're having technical difficulty right now, so it's possible that it won't be. But I really don't care about that because yours is the best situation because a lot of these politicians now, they do care about it. They care about their jobs more so than they care about the welfare and what they're supposed to represent. Exactly.
Yes.
For the people.
Yes. And
Exactly.
what about, too, the average Joe, where they say some workers can work home remotely, but you have, too, where there's other workers that cannot work home remotely. They don't have that choice. They don't have that option. So what are they supposed to do if everything is being shut down? I mean, they still have to take care of their families moving forward.
Right. And that's okay. So that's the point. That's why I brought that up. So I'm running for office. They're, I'm not going to win. I'm just telling everybody right now. And I tell you, if it should be a question like, what would you do? This is the perfect time.
Yes.
You're running for office. So what's your question? What would you do if you was the state rep right now in a crisis? Most people would give the same boring, typical, mechanical answer because, as I said, the only thing they're interested in doing is trying to get a free job, those who are trying to get into office. I'm not talking about the ones who are already in office. There's a big difference. And when I said that, by the way, I typed that, so I'm on Facebook and, everybody, so many people know who Van Stone is. I'll just put it that way. I won't say everybody. I got to really watch how I talk because, people, they want to hold you to everything. So, but when I mention what I mentioned is that there are politicians who get these jobs for a free paid vacation job. Art, do you realize that I got attacked?
Yeah.
I got attacked for making that statement. Now, I'm a constituent, so I can say whatever I want to say, even though I'm running for office. I haven't won, so I can say whatever I want. But I got attacked on Facebook by a current incumbent state rep who started harassing me.
Wow.
They're making threats, yeah, because I made the truthful statement about the politicians who that's really what it's all about to them. You know, and so if you
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
so if you want to strike a nerve, so to speak, you speak the truth. And when you do, then what's going to happen is that the people who are there who's supposed to be concerned about us, they will expose themselves where they will come at you. Okay? Because this is messing up their little thing. You know what I mean? So right now, here's what's happening here. In Philadelphia, we're concerned about black Philadelphians, primarily because that's what we are about. You know, not that we're not interested in the other race, but right now, factually, foremost, we suffer the most, and we are going to suffer, just unending with this situation because of the way that the government is handling it. If they would have handled it differently, then we would all be able to deal with this like, say, if it was just a fire.
Yeah.
You know, it's unexpected. You have your first responders come, and then they put you somewhere, and your loved ones know where you are, and you're able to go on. But that is not how this is being handled. That's why this is really dire straight for most people,
Yes.
you know, here in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I mean, you know, I have a lot to say. Normally, I don't really want to do a lot of talking, but at this time, I'm gonna just keep
Well,
going.
you know,
Yeah.
it all at a certain point, it's a trickle down effect, and we can only make certain moves when others make moves on a higher rung.
Right.
You know, getting things passed, getting subsidies, allocations approved.
Okay.
And
But
they're not doing that now. I mean, the party right now is not. They have no interest in the middle class, lower middle class, and or poverty stricken people.
right. But in this case, this is not trickle down. This is an emergency. When you have an emergency, you have first responders. The first responders are the people who are supposed to be trained for such a situation. So, again,
Well, the first responders should have been the people who knew about it in January.
that's right.
They knew about it. They should have been.
That's right.
Good point.
That's the whole point. So in this case, your first responders are the government, political, incumbent people, regardless whether you are state or federal. Now, we're not talking about our local politicians. See, this is another thing. I try to help people understand politics. Everybody really thinks they know what politics is about, but they really don't understand. And the reason why they don't understand is not because it's a put down or talking negative to them, it's because they hide the facts to the average person. The government lies all the time, and right now they are lying in a big way. For an example, all the schools are closed right now. So all the people who have anything to do with the school, they are out of work. I'm not talking about the people who work for the school district where their benefits will kick in, where they will get paid. When I say anything to do with the school, imagine because of the greed of politics, this is what they've done. And the average person who don't deal with the school, they don't know this. So all your food workers, they don't work for the school district. They work for individual companies. And those companies are not treating the employees correct. They're not giving them a fair salary.
Talking about charter school? Are you talking about charter schools?
No, I'm talking about public schools. Things have changed so drastically. This is what I'm saying, because most parents are not concentrating on all the particulars. As long as their kids just get to school and come home and they get fed, that's all the parents really are worried about. So then they go with, free meals or non-free meals. And then they go with financial, and then if your kid can get a meal. And then it's, this went back and forth, thanks to President Obama Because at one point, it was if you didn't meet the sliding scale financially, then you couldn't even get a free meal for your child.
Yeah.
So based on the hard work of President Obama and his wife, Michelle Obama, they set up something and fought that back. They fought the businesses back, okay, so that the kids could get free meals no matter what. And the meals are only like $2 a day. Imagine people cannot afford $2 a day to send in for their child to eat. All right, so these are the particulars. But what I'm trying to say, we're not talking about the kids now. We're talking about the actual adults who are working. Okay, so the workers, the contract has
Oh yeah,
been,
well then you have to bring in that child care for like infants. It's going to be how is that be impacted? I'm sure it's going to be very deep.
yeah,
Yes.
it's all impacted. This is what I'm trying to say. Just looking at the schools, what I'm trying to say, the workers, they work for an independent company. You know, it could be Airmark, it could be whatever. You know, the fact that if you work for that company, you don't work for the school district, whatever that company rules are, that's what you get. So when the schools are closed, most of those independent companies who handle all the food services, they don't have benefits. When the school is closed, they're out of work. They're not going to pay them if the school's not open. You know, then we talk about not just them, but the other independent contractors, because
Yeah.
really, they don't want to call it independent contractor, but it is. If you don't have any kind of benefits when your job is locked down, then you're independent. It doesn't matter. And this is how they're so fraudulent. But this is really from the top, from the government. This only happens because the government is a part of this. This is why when you have state and federal, they start fighting against you. They don't want you to know this. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not talking about your senators, and I'm not talking about your congressmen. That's a whole different political entity. That's another thing. Like I said, you know, the good thing about this here, if only we had media like this here, really, where we could educate and really inform the people the right way, that would be the good thing that could come from this. You know, but because we don't have the media, the average person don't really know what's going on. You know, it just looks good. It looks fine until something like this just happened.
Yes.
You know, so you can come in and say something, Jerry? Okay. So in this case, we need to know this and why this is such a dire emergency. These details is not a complaint, but this is just so important. And we're going to talk about this again,
Yes,
everyone, because it's
definitely.
not recorded right now. And
Right.
oh, it is? Are we on Facebook too? Oh, okay. Excuse me. All right.
Wow.
Let me do this right again, because I really didn't care. You know what I mean? All right. Well, let me go back and do this right for our listeners. Right now the time is 2:52.
Yes.
And I'm Van Stone. I'm your host here with my co-host. And, of course, we're talking live, a live talk with Van Stone. We're here with Antoinette.
Yes.
No, we ain't breaking. We are just this.
This
Listen,
virus is very critical,
We're-
and
we're
we
here
want
with-
all our listeners to be informed of what's
Yeah.
going on.
so we're here with Antoinette. We're here with David Anthony. We're here with Jerry Wilson. We have Art Shaw on the line. This is part of our team. We almost have our full team. We had Warren Bloom, but I don't know. He's not on the line right at the moment. And we want to give our shout out to Eli Latson too, who does sports. Plus Janet.
Can you hear me?
Powell.
I am on the line.
Yes, you're still there. We hear you. You're on the line.
That's Warren.
Oh, Warren.
Well, I want to say, I just want to,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Warren. Welcome.
Van didn't, nobody mentioned me, so I didn't say
I
that.
just did. I said Warren Bloom. Yes, I did. But go ahead, Warren. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Jump right on in on this.
Well, welcome, and of course, it's nice to hear from everybody. Hello, everybody in the studios and all our listeners. We've had other events, of course, that have taken place over the past 72 hours here in Philadelphia. We need to pray for the 21-year-old young man who's been accused of murdering Hassan Elliott, who was had a warrant for murder and some other and robbery. And as he was trying to get the warrant served, he shot
Police officer.
Philadelphia veteran police officer James O'Connor, the husband and father of two. As a former, and I think I'm still involved with police clergy work, and for the last 10 years. So we want to keep all these families in prayer.
Yes.
Our police commissioner Outlaw is already dealing within 30 days of her appointment the death of a Philadelphia police officer.
Wow, she can't even be any that good.
There's so much we got to deal with, but I want everybody to be glad the fact that it appears that this virus is less susceptible to people of color and melatonin. They said it, but again, we need to stay vigilant and using common sense to wash your hands and to use sanitizers. Continue to build up your immune system through exercise and vitamins.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, thanks, Warren. So we're going to continue our conversation, and again, most of us here, we just want to give a disclaimer as well that this is our opinions, and that's very important. You know, me and Jerry was discussing something because he's moving over, so
Yes.
we said we was going to get into it. So you had some thoughts on it.
No, well, I wanted to put the disclaimer out, actually. Why? Okay. All right, here's the exactly official disclaimer. The views and opinions that are being expressed here by the host and the callers, myself, Antoinette, David Van, do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of either Philly Hot Radio, Live and Direct Media, Philly Funk Radio, MSS Streaming Services, or any of its affiliates. Just remember that the opinions that are being expressed are the opinions of us and the callers and solely ours. You may continue.
All right, thank you. So I want to give an update that's important, okay? Warren, you there?
Yes.
All right, you there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
I'm
All right,
still
so all right, I wanted to give an update, and then you can follow up on this, Warren or Art. The reason why I'm bringing them two in is because we wear many hats here at our team, and Art, he is a Philadelphia City worker, so he deals directly with families dealing with the library. Warren is a community activist, so he deals on a large scale with nursing centers and so many other things. You know, and myself, I am a paraprofessional, work with the schools, I mean, on all levels. And so, surprisingly, I'm mentioning these things because you don't have to be at the top to be the person who really is the expert when it comes to these things. Now, to my right, David Anthony is here too. He also is a school paraprofessional as well. I'm just, you know, my mind is racing as I'm saying this, because to me,
Yes, it is.
well, this is no joke. I wouldn't be talking this way until I actually had to know that we have to take action, that this is about our people, man. This is about black Philadelphians for real. So to my right, David Anthony, he's a paraprofessional when it comes to working in the schools as well, in children, and also in mental health services. He's done that as well. And then Antoinette, so around the table, dealing with, again, paraprofessional, administration, dealing with mental health, youth, adults, dealing with community activation, and especially dealing with the needy, for those who, not just because it's mental health, but we're just talking about regular situations that may lead you into mental health, you know. So at this table, we are the skilled people. We have the skill and the knowledge, but unfortunately, that's not how this works when it comes to government. You know, so it's the people who are not down with the boots on the ground who are making the decisions. Now, so that's going to lead me to two updates. Here's one good update, everyone, if you haven't heard it, and you're going to see this repeat. So, thanks to our local politicians, I always give our local politicians their props. Thanks to our council, City Council, Philadelphia, and our mayor, right now, to my knowledge, when it comes to utilities, everyone, you will not get your electric bill, your gas bill, your water bill shut off, or any other kind of bill. Okay, thanks to their hard work, that won't happen until this emergency is over, which is good news. Go ahead, you had something to say?
Well, another good thing is that the cable operators announced that they'll be putting holds on any disconnections and suspensions for the next 60 days, and if you owe any bills, they're going to hold off on collections on those in the wake of everything that's going on. So that's actually good. That's something, that's one
Yes.
good thing that I could actually say that the cable companies are doing. So covered under that will be, of course, Verizon, Comcast, Charter, and Cox Communications, which is more out in like New Jersey, New York. But at least they're stepping up. The communications companies
Yes.
are stepping up and doing something.
All right, now that's important. So when we continue this discussion, we're going to be talking about this for a while, y'all,
Yes.
unfortunately. And we're going to get in also some good stuff too, some fun conversation, entertainment, make it fun a little bit. But right now, because it's just happening, so these things are important for the moment to let people know. So that's very powerful. So you heard it from me, Van Stone. I'm not your state rep, so I can say, nobody, don't pay your electric bill, don't pay your gas bill, don't pay your water bill, don't pay any of these bills. No, I'm dead serious. And if I was a politician, that's what I would say to you, because right now, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, here's the unfairness and the fraudulent of how the government talks. The average American should have $400 in the bank saved, and they can't make it past $400. What world are they
Thank
living
you.
in?
Thank you.
Okay, we have nothing,
Yes.
and then $400 in their mind is supposed to
Absolutely.
last what, a week, 2 weeks? Which brings me to the fraudulent declaration that they just made with the announcement of the president and both sides in Congress and all this nonsense, where they actually still have to debate. That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you have to debate anything? Where we are the ones who vote for them, the power of the black vote, so forth and so on, get them in office, and then they fraudulently say this is what the American people want. But it's them.
Well, I hate to say it, but the politicians, I don't care whether they're Democrat or Republican, the basic politicians have the politicians at the top that are making these decisions have no idea how regular people live. They have
Exactly.
just tons of money. I don't care whether you're talking about Trump, Pelosi, all of them. They have tons of money, and they don't know that,
What the average person,
You
yeah.
got to dump money into your car. Like, I just had to
They-
put gas
they
in my
know that
car.
it's just the fear of it.
Stuff like that,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I want to remind everybody, as of this week, many of you know that Katie Porter, the Democratic representative, pressed the assistant, Dr. Robert Cadillac, concerning the testing. Right now, you can now get free testing. Anybody in America can go to a health facility and be tested now without cost. And then you can trend it or Google the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, again,
Is this for the coronavirus?
yes.
Yes.
It's for
Yeah.
yes, it's for the coronavirus. Well, like I said, if I was a state rep, I would be raising hell right now. Now, this is Van Stone talking, and if people know me, normally I don't talk this way. But what I'm telling you is, that's a very powerful announcement. Our team is up on top of the updates. Warren Bloom just made the announcement. Well, there's free testing. Here's the problem: they don't have the test kits. So in America, if you go anywhere right now, we just had this conversation, Warren, before you came in. I was just informing everybody what the reality is. They don't have the test kits. And the medical guy who's supposed to be responsible for our entire country here, the United States, he said the United States stink, basically, He said they have failed in everything. He said that they knew about this. And they have put nothing in place. So we can't even get a hold of anything. It's going to take to a year.
Wow.
Well, just a little update on that. And I know Trump's, for lack of a better word, a liar. But just before we got here, there was a press conference that they held where Trump and Pence, as well as Ben Carson, and all of them came on and said that they just approved to allocate a rush on, like, I think it was like either like $50 million worth of test kits that should be coming in the next like 3-4 days. But my thing is this, is if they had this ability to do this, why isn't now all of a sudden, oh, now everything is available, when, like you said, it was before it was going to take a week. What changed all of a sudden, you know?
And it's still not coming.
And it's still not coming.
That's the point.
That's what they said, exactly. So
No, it's not coming. Listen, I follow like what Art said. He said, don't listen to the government. Listen to the doctors, the professionals.
Yes.
They're blasting the government. They're telling you the truth. They're saying, listen, we don't have it.
Right.
And so, you know, I don't want to skip this part I had in my mind because I really wanted to say this as another update. So we had the positive update about the bills. Now, here's the what I call the negative update. Everybody knows the schools are closed. Okay? This is my personal opinion. It was the wrong decision to do, and it's a terrible decision, and it is going to put all our kids here in Philadelphia at risk for being home. They lied to us. They're saying it's for 10 days, but the professionals are saying this could be 2 months.
Wow.
Okay, here's their plan. So we're going to take money, and we're going to have another company drop off food at the schools, which means that the kids are going to have to leave their home to go back to the school to get food and then come home. That doesn't even make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
But that is what they're doing. They have copied this as a model from other cities who have done this. So there's other cities who have done this, and this is what they're doing. This is not a suggestion. This is the plan. Okay? So the reason why I'm saying that, and then I'm gonna let you say something, why it's a bad idea is because all they had to do was just leave it up to the parents. If the parents want to not send their kids to school, that would be perfect. Then when it comes to the social, less kids in school, less, you know, we might have 10 kids. Right now, the average teacher has like 36 kids for one teacher. So if a lot of kids don't show up, they might have 5. But it doesn't matter. The teachers will be able to show up. The spacing would happen, okay, and the kids who need to be in school would be there. This whole thing would function so much better the way it's supposed to.
Well, here's the thing: the teachers are actually still getting paid with their contract. They're contractually obligated to still pay them. So you have teachers getting paid. The kids are sitting at home, and the thing that I'm thinking about is like, even the place I work, we have a lot of people that have children. And what's going on now is with their children being home forcibly, they're going to have to take time off at work.
Exactly.
And there's money going to be lost, and education's being lost with the kids, and so forth. So it's just going to create this whole thing like that doesn't really have to be. And it's like the decisions that are being made are just terrible. Like the decision, I don't know who's making these decisions.
For young
Huh? Excuse me?
young workers who or have children, little babies, the healthcare. I mean, for daycare centers and stuff like that, it's going to be tragic for them too.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like one of my coworkers has 2 small children. Has a 7 and a 9-year-old. They're both school age children. They are both in school at day. She works during the day, so now she may have to take off if she has no other support, you know, that could actually take care of the children while she's at work. So she's going to be missing time, missing money.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, you know, even aside from this whole coronavirus thing, they're still trying to cut government assistance.
Yeah, and the sad thing about this is it still affects, Warren, the everyday average person. Like, we are the ones that suffers constantly. you know, when it comes to different things that's going on. And with this virus, it's going to set off where then you're looking at not just the single mothers out here that's taking care of their families and trying to get by. You also have where this virus is affecting their work. What about they're not able to work at home? They have to actually be on site, and they might actually have the kind of boss or supervisor where they're not going to pay them for being off.
Right.
Some of them is not going to do it.
Right. So, and that's the point. How this matter's supposed to be handled, if I was state rep, it would be on a case-by-case situation as everything is supposed to be. Family first means your next-door neighbor. Everybody's household is different. So you can't just do a one thing, one size fit all situation. You know, the other thing is Philadelphia. We're so unique and diverse, but we are closer to New York, which, let me bring that in. I feel so great about the current mayor of New York. I'm not from New York, but I just want to praise this guy, Mayor de Blasio. I'm not saying it right, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. I'm just giving this guy the realest props because of what he said. Now, New York is different than the state of Pennsylvania, unfortunately for us. So the governor, he made the call, we have to have the school shut down. In New York, it's different. So the schools are actually open, and the mayor is making the call to keep the schools open.
Okay.
And he said the same thing, which is what I said. He said, can you imagine all these teenagers home from school, running around, getting on subway, going everywhere? He's like, you know, you're just doing contrary to what you're saying you're going to do, because the kids are not going to stay home. And so if you're saying,
You're right
well,
about that.
yeah, you want to avoid them on public transit and all that, that's just what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to be all over the place. And that same here in Philly. Everywhere. So from the youngest kid, they can get out about, they're going to be outside. They're not going to be home. And this is not a parent thing, you know, where you're going to blame the parents and all this kind of stuff. That's not what this is about. It's about normalcy of human beings. So kids, little people, are people too. And that's the point. So they are going to take actions based on, according to their mentality, which is they're going to do the normal things that they do. They're going to go out, they're going to be everywhere, they're going to travel, go from one county to the other. You know, like Delaware County is the border here this way. They can go right across there. They can go anywhere they want. So how is that supposed to be, you know, really containing it here for Philly? So I just think it was a terrible decision.
This isn't the 1950s. You know, you're right, because there's no truancy, strict truancy laws any longer. So, I mean, they would really never hire applicable anyway.
Right. And on top of
I'm
that,
saying for the children to be contained.
they're not going to be contain them. And the point is, when they keep talking about the meals, so the kids need to be in school because they need food, you know. So why don't they think of family first just like that? You know, that it would be better for the kids to just go to the school. The kids in school, they have more.
But it is like a spaghetti of problems, because you know you have to still think about this virus situation. I mean, it's a socially social virus. It's a social virus which covers a lot of things.
Right. So
Political virus is everything.
Okay, so it's 3:13 in the afternoon. We have about 15 more minutes because we started late. So we're doing it for an hour. I just want to bring in some other points. Hopefully we'll have our other guests, entertainers who are going to call in for the show. It's going to be a few minutes, but this is so important. If we don't get them on, we'll get them on next time, but we're working on that. David Anthony's working on our guests,
Yes.
entertainment guests. But here's some issues that I printed out. that is an action group that brought up, which is excellent, dignity for workers based on this situation. Just what you talked about,
Yes.
Antoinette, that everybody, for the most part, is out of work. Health in city jails. We talking about the county jails. I've been there. I've been in jail. It's a bad slogan, but it is what it is. What black man that you know hasn't been in jail? You know, that's a whole nother topic. So I've been in the county jails, and I know how clustered everything is. So this virus, I mean, oh my goodness, you know, what are you going to do with that? You shut down the whole city. How are you going to help them? Internet access. Well, what you say, Antoinette.
Yes.
Right now, Comcast has it where the families who are poor can get internet access for $9, and even people can't afford that. And by the way, to me, that's fraudulent too, because you can't do anything with it. The band is not strong enough, so it's like you can't really. So that's where you would come in to speak, Jerry.
Yeah, it's like,
Internet.
As soon as I said
yeah,
that,
I'm gonna take this. Yeah, you see, I just lit up, right? No, well, basically, what it is it's like the lowest grade service possible.
Right.
It's
Yes.
it's a part of a program called the Lifeline.
Yes.
And you know, the Lifeline service, people will know that from what they call Obama phones, which are the free cell phones. So it's part of the Lifeline
Wow.
service. But I think, and I'm not sure, and I got to look into this. I think it's either or. Either you get the phone or the internet service. So I think you actually have to make a choice. I don't think you can get both.
right.
So like you
Right.
said, that's pretty much fraudulent, because why can't,
It's fraudulent.
if you really want to help them, why not say they could get the phone service and they
Exactly.
could get the internet service and so forth.
Right.
Exactly.
So before because we still have a few minutes. Hopefully, we'll get to entertainer. I just wanted to say this because I really didn't answer the question. So Van Stone, if you were state rep, whatever, you know, what would you do? And my answer would be, well, this is an emergency. As a state rep, doesn't matter whether I could do it or not. But I would just basically declare, and I put this on Facebook as well, that every American right now will get a stimulus. Every American, because it is a disability. This is a disability, basically, because of what this virus has done. I think I would push for every American to get a stimulus of $1,500 a month. Because then I back
concur.
that up. So I'm going to explain why, just short to the point that is realistic, what I'm saying. If you recall, President Bush did that. He gave a stimulus when he was president, and they complained about him a lot as a Republican, whatever, but he gave a $300 stimulus to all Americans. Now, I didn't even get that $300 when it happened, but I knew that it happened. And then so when I made the phone call about it, then it was explained to me, still, it was limited to particular people based on whatever, and I felt my financial was the lowest that I definitely will qualify, and I didn't even qualify for that. Yet a lot of people got that $300. Now, that was in response to Kanye West, Bush don't like black people. Remember that.
Yes.
You know, so this situation here, across the board, dealing with black Americans, we are being put in the same situation again. But if we had a stimulus like that, the country has the money. That would solve the problem. Whether you're working or not, it doesn't matter. We're all equally in this. So it would be, we all need money just so we could take care of what we need to take care of.
Yes.
But instead of, they are.
But understand, or also understand that it just affects the financial situation to a certain degree, but not the disease itself.
Right, right.
Not the disease. I'm talking about the virus. I meant the virus.
Right, exactly. But and that's my point. So we're waiting for a caller to call in, and so we can merge the show for the last 10 minutes into the entertainment piece. But while we're waiting, hopefully that call will come in. This is the point: family first, the basis, the three most important things that a family needs. Like I said, shelter, food, money. You know, if we had the money, they have the money. They send all this money over to Israel. every time somebody has a crisis that's not even like this, and they describe this as a war, by the way. So this is a war. This is according to the leaders of our country. This is a war. This is a war. They're over there, the vice president, is a war. Okay, so wait a minute. But then you send all this money to Israel when they're having not a war, but whatever else is going on. You send this over to, these other countries, and it's not about a war, but, and then when it is a war, you send the money to them. But here, we in America, we can't get money.
I advise everyone to watch Outbreak on Netflix. Today, this is a modern day of that particular movie. You need to check it out. Seriously, is exactly what's going on today with this coronavirus.
So, well, we're going to keep calling to the line ring, Dave Anthony.
Yes.
We have still like 10 minutes. We want to remind our viewers.
Also,
listeners-
there's the passage in the Dean Koontz book, I think that's called The Shadow of Darkness,
Okay.
where they talk about in 2020 there would be a virus that would be unstoppable, mainly targeting the elderly. Then it suddenly will go away and come back.
Okay. Well, and that's what I'm trying to conclude with this and ease in, because we're going to be talking about it. But your point is powerful, because we're in a situation. It is going to be a virus that's going to continue. It masks itself as the flu. That's another thing. Okay, and then so there's processes. You have to get tested. Some people have to get X-rays done to see and discover if they have the flu. And then there's, if you pass all these other things and it's not this or that, then you have to get the separate test. So again, we don't even have the test for it right now. It's
going to be a trip where it says, "Oh, you're all right. You have the flu."
Right. No, but you know about the deaths in the flu. They already talking about that's a whole different thing. So many people die from that. But I'm going to try to merge into an upbeat conversation in our last 10 minutes, entertainment, just in case our caller calls in. We also have two people part of our team who are entertainers, professional musicians, Art Shaw and also Warren Bloom, just in case you guys don't know that. Now, originally, what was supposed to happen, Jerry, since you're looking at me, I'm just telling you this week, what was supposed to happen, which is what we're working to, we were supposed to have a live performance segment here.
Yes.
So the fact that Art Shaw is one of the top bass players that I know of in the city of Philadelphia and beyond, we have space here where.
Thank you for straightening that out.
What do you say?
You know of.
What do you say?
Thank you for straightening that out.
Well, come on, man. But it is what it is. And I do news, so we cover the news on our musicians, and like I said, we give props is due. So, hopefully, we will have that happen, where we will have musicians who come in and have talent, and they will perform to finish our show, either at the beginning or the end or somewhere along the
You have a
way.
keyboard player there?
No, we don't have a keyboard player. But you don't need a keyboard player.
Okay.
You are that good as a solo artist. So also, Warren Bloom is here still on the line. Warren Bloom is a professional drummer. And it's too loud in here probably to do that. But he's also a vocalist as well. Warren, you still there?
Yeah, and I know how to play soft.
Well, I'm gonna, you know
come
what?
on, Warren.
Okay, but see, this is the thing with musicians is amazing. They know space, and they can just cramp in anything and make it happen with live instruments. Go ahead, Jerry.
No, we had a question actually that was posed to us on Facebook, and to see if you may know it, as the lady, her name is Deneen Osborne, and she asked, when the schools, do you know if when the schools are closed, if they're going to be thoroughly disinfected, or are they just closing them just to be closed?
Great question. Okay, so
Yeah,
since we have,
yes.
Awesome.
okay, I have the
Yes,
answer.
they are supposed to be disinfected.
That's the caller. That's
There
the
you go,
caller.
that's the caller.
Jerry, that's the caller that's calling in. I just heard him beat.
Tell them they needed to call in on the other number. They're calling me on my phone. They need to call in on
You
the
gave me the wrong
857
number.
number.
The
857 number. Yeah, just call him back and tell him.
Right here.
That's the number they had.
No, he calling his personal cell phone number.
Oh my God, I gave him eight.
Just text it to him. Just call him and
Yeah.
text it to him. It's no problem. We still got time. We're gonna make time for this person because it's important. Then I'm gonna answer the question.
Yeah.
Just step out and just call him and let him know because that would be easier. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to text him and stuff. So while we get with this is called technical difficulty. I'm gonna answer the question because we have a listener. Excellent question. The true answer is no. The schools are not closed just to be closed. So while the schools are closed, they have maintenance. The good thing about that is the maintenance workers will still have their jobs, and normally even when the schools are closed, maintenance workers still work.
Yes.
Most people don't know that. So they still work. Now, the plan is to have a universal school cleaning. That's the plan to answer the question. However, in this case, this is a very unique question because of the virus. We really don't know how much cleaning would take place. That answer would come from the school superintendent in conjunction with the school mayor. The reason why, and also city council as well, reason why is because we're not sitting at their board right now. So we don't know if the military just slipped my mind. Not the armed guard, but the
National Guard?
There you go.
Okay. National
The
Guard.
National Guard. Okay, so here's the answer. So in cases like this, the National Guard would come in and actually clean the school if it's to that degree.
Okay.
You know, okay, great. So we're welcoming
This is the boss man.
All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome, John. How are you?
All right, I'm hanging in there. How y'all doing?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we were just talking on some main topics, coronavirus, and what do you got to say about?
Well, we got 4 minutes.
We got
so
like
let
4
him-
minutes.
Let him
Kinda
go
funny.
to his entertainment. We
Go
got-
to
we got
your
4 minutes.
entertainment, John, and
Yeah, we got 4
yeah,
minutes.
about what
Right.
you're doing,
It's,
and
right.
you're on.
Well, what I got to say about the coronavirus, if people look back, it made them about this virus before it even came about.
Mm-hmm. True that.
And this movie is just getting ready to be released.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay,
So,
John.
and now one of the Chinese doctors came up to the store where he said all you have to do is take onion peeling and boil it to a hot steam water, chew on the onion and break the water down. And it kills you.
Okay, John. John, this is Van Stone here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So we only have 3 minutes. We enjoyed you when you called in last week. So we want you to give us an update on what's going on. I think I did hear an announcement about the show and what you're doing, your part in entertainment. That's we wanted to give you that time. So we unfortunately we only have 3 minutes. So what do you want to let our audience know
Okay.
about the show and you and what you're doing?
Okay, well, I am one of the contestants from America's Got Talent and also one of the winners of Show. I started off as a dancer here in Philadelphia with the flamingo dancing. And then I left them and went to the recording for the Queen. But coming up May 10th, Mother's Day,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will be on the show, Stephanie Mills, After 7, and Miss Angela Burton at the Ocean Casino in Atlantic. Show starts at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
John, are you on speakerphone?
Let me see. Let me check it.
Yeah, don't be on speakerphone. Can you take
Yeah.
yourself off of speakerphone,
Yeah, that's
please?
better.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I got myself off of it.
All right, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this show for Mother's Day is coming up. Going to be a very, very great show. This will be the first time that I'm performing inside of the Ocean Casino.
So I look for all the fans of the Boss Man, Stephanie Mills, After 7, Angela Burton. We're looking to have a good time and looking to see everybody there and, enjoy yourself.
That sounds
And we're going to need something like this after this crisis.
Okay, so John, unfortunately, we're out of time right now. We were trying to get you in. This was a special show on the issue of the emergency. So we will have you back. We're going to keep you a part of the loop of what we're doing here. So we just want to let you know that. But we do thank you for this, 1 minute and a half, I guess, that you had. So at this time, you can drop off and pretty much close out and hang up. And guys, we are thankful. Warren, if you're there, you can get ready to hang up.
Yes.
Art, if you're there, you can hang up. We're dropping off as we're closing out WBSR. And of course, this is Philly Funk.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, of course. We'll talk to you guys next week or next time. PhillyHotRadio.com,
Yes.
PhillyFunkRadio.com, WVSR 1360, and we're just all over. Vanstone, Philadelphia. We're off.
Yes.
Okay, and we're off.
We're still on, but the call's off.
Okay, great. So we're concluding.
Yes.
If you want to reach out for bookings about the show, you can reach out. We have
Yes.
Antoinette here.
Yes, you could definitely give me a call in reference to any up and coming concerts that you might have available or events. You can give us a call at 267-231-5126. That's 267-231-5126.
Okay, David Anthony, anything they can contact you at or to the team?
Well, really, we're all together in this, so you can contact Antoinette.
Okay, Antoinette, he's so smooth with that.
Yeah.
Jerry Wilson, before we close, what do you want to add before we get out of here?
I would like to actually thank all the people. We had almost 20 people today
Awesome.
viewing us live on Facebook, and they were the ones that fed some of the questions that were being read and so forth. So I would like to thank everybody for watching on Facebook and listening on Philly Funk Radio and Philly Hot Radio. And, oh, by the way, thank you for the person who said the video looks great. I appreciate that.
All right, and if you want to follow Jerry on Jerry Wilson Facebook, we're going over time just a little bit, but I just have to say that so that they know what's happening here. We are your media team. We love you, Philadelphians. We love all black Philadelphians. We are online fighting against the negativity, and it was said from the top. Politician says the time of fighting is over with. They're asking them parties to stop fighting. Down here on the ground, where we are boots on the ground, we have to quit the nonsense of attacking, black against black or in denial who's black, who's not. Right now, this is Black Philadelphia. We are here representing Philly, and we care about all our people. We are top. So if you're African American, you are top. We want you to know that. I'm not an African American, but you are top, so I'm just letting you know. And we put you first because that's what it's about. It wasn't for you and your history, we wouldn't be able to do this, okay? At least me personally saying that. So if you want to follow us, we are going to have live broadcastings on Jerry Wilson Facebook, where they're going to have segments. This is a new thing with Antoinette Cook.
Yes.
Live, where you can hear updates. Jerry Wilson segments live. This is part of our traffic. Our traffic, Philly traffic with David Anthony live segments, maybe about 10 minutes. We're also going to have a member of our team, Janet Powell of Janet's House.
Yes.
Oh, I'm telling you. If we can get her on the air, there are so many natural Philadelphians who would be going off. Are we still live though, or are we frozen? Are we off the air?
I think we may be on.
Okay, well,
We might as well just wrap it up.
yeah, we're wrapped
Okay.
up. All right, that's good. All right, that's fine. All right.